Barbecue, located at 4701 Banana Drive, Motown, Texas, Molina neighborhood.
Welcome to the Volo Podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo Podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that? Welcome to the Volo Podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo Podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that?
All right, welcome back to the Volo. I'm your host, El Vago. Today we have my homeboy Gabe, got the Vago boys, and we got the Iceman. One of my favorite guests, the Iceman. We're supposed to have Jesse Plex Pettis, but man, he got picked up the other day. He's under investigation. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully they let him out, man. Good friend of mine. I missed that fool. We're supposed to talk the difference between California state prisons and Texas state prisons, but we're not gonna be able to do that. We're gonna have to do that another time because Jesse ain't here. So how y'all been?
Good. Free Plex.
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from last night, I'm from Gregory and it rained like golf balls. Golf ball hailstorm.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Crazy, bro. So many broken windshields. I'm pretty sure all these windshield places made a fortune
Oh,
today.
fuck yeah, fool.
It was bad though, bro. Like,
Yeah, I saw a video. It was in Taft, man. Some girl's car was getting hit by a shitload of fucking like rocks, bro. Boom, 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 boom. It was fucking shit up.
Your car get fucked up? Or no?
nope. I was here. I like leaving Corpus, like I videotaped it. Like you could see where it was like passing through Gregory and Portland and shit.
Smoking any filters lately?
Shh. I try not to, you know. Shit happens, dog.
Yeah.
To the best of us.
Yeah. So, Iceman, how you been, man?
I'm doing okay, man. Just a couple days ago, well, a couple weeks ago, it's just like medical things setting me back, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of events that I've been involved with are happening right now, so that takes me away from my writing. It's my book.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how's your book going, man?
Yeah, I got couple new stories coming
Yeah.
out inside the book. You know, when I went to Cali, back in Cali in June, man, I ran into a couple friends of mine, you know, and they brought up some events,
Yeah.
and I forgot all about those kind of events, and they're really good stories, you know, and but in the criminal mind, that's a good story.
Yeah,
but, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Not, you know. But anyways, it was a good experience going back. You know, we had went to the park I grew up at, El Salvador Park. You know,
Yeah.
and we had a DJ there, and family was all there. We had, you know, tents hooked up there with food and everything. A lot of people came down there, so I could take some photo shoots and stuff like that. You know, for the book itself. You know, so you know, I had fun going down there. You know. But I was hoping I'd talk to Jess, man. We go back and
Yeah,
forth,
that's what I really
teaching-
wanted, man. That would have been so
yeah,
cool.
teaching some stuff, you know, the youth today about, hey, it's not what you think it is going into these prisons, you know. But it's changed, man. Especially from you know, California to Texas prisons, man. You know, it's a whole different atmosphere, man. You know, and it's not good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, it's not good at all.
Iron Man, what's up, man? Zero Cool, what's up, homie? How you been? Raza for life. Shit, we got someone watching from Argentina. Fool.
It's hard.
What?
Hell yeah, it's badass.
What's up in Argentina, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah,
Argentina.
shout out.
What's
Yeah.
the weather like over there?
Yeah. Invite us.
And what time is it?
Yeah.
Probably different sorts.
Hey, fool, I'd be scared to go to those countries, fool. They take a look at me, tat it up. They be like, vámonos, sicó, cabrón, vámonos. Fuck that.
They just throw a pack at you.
Yeah.
Probably thinking they're making it on the plane over there.
Shit.
What are you
fuck
gonna do?
that.
Another free food raffle?
When are you doing another free food raffle? I don't know, man. Real soon, man. I've been thinking about doing that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned, man. Shit. See if we got any more drama on the page. All right,
What's up
girl.
with that
Hey, we've
drama?
always been through that all
Man.
our lives.
I find it funny. I see people always saying like, "Oh man, don't let it get to you," whatever. But man, the reason why I posted is because for people to see how it feels like to get bullied. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you want to be bullying people, all right, let everybody roast you, fuck you. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, man, like, I'm not gonna lie, I do it most of the time because I get paid for it, man.
For real.
Facebook, man, it sucks, man. I'll post my food stuff. I'll get $2-3 for one post. I'll get $4 or $5, whatever. But when I post something with drama, $40, $50, $60, man, like it starts racking up the money. And then I use that money to give back. You know what I mean? It's like turning a negative into a positive. So,
But are these characters real characters? And
I don't know.
Really hating on you?
I
or
don't
something, or
know.
what?
Well, some of them are. Some of them are. A lot of them are just people making up fake reviews, and those are the ones I post because it's, to me, it's funny, you know. It's funny, you know, and people get riled up on there about it, you know what I mean, and stuff. And it's just cool that we have a big following that people, our supporters, man, they're badass, bro. Yeah.
They're fucking savage.
But you know, like that post that I put, they said that to start off they were rude. Like, when we're not rude to nobody, why we're gonna be rude? Like, you're coming to our establishment, you're buying our food. You know, we're happy with our food. We're proud of our food. Like, why are we gonna treat you like shit? Like, that's dumb. My daughter's the one that works the window. You know what I mean? And she's, you know, she's a sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, she's one of my best kids. You know, she's never gave me no problems. She's never gotten in trouble. You know, all my kids are good, but she's like Miss Perfect. You know what I mean? She don't give no problems. She's real good. She listens. She never talk back. She never raised her voice. You tell her something, okay, mom, okay, dad. She's always been like that. You know what I mean? So why is she gonna be rude to a customer? You know, I don't know. It's just crazy, man.
I mean, you're always gonna have hate, bro, because you're on top, bro. And anytime you say anybody's name or make any reference, that gives them just a little bit more exposure for them. Like,
Bro, I get all kinds of shit from all kinds of people, and it's funny, bro, because it's all social media. Nobody's told me nothing to my face. Nobody's never called me out or wanted to fight or nothing like that. And don't get me wrong, I don't want it to get to that point, man, because, you know, I'm just trying to be normal. You know, I'm just trying to make my food, make people happy, whatever. But then you always get these people that say stuff, and me, I'm going. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Shit, I want to slap a motherfucker with a brisket.
Slap him with a brisket.
You know, I don't want it to get to that point, man. But it's just, you know,
That's the goal.
it's funny. But I put it out there too, so everybody can see the shit that I go through. You know what I mean?
for real.
I go through a lot of shit, man. I've had people try to. I just found out, man. When this one guy, he was an investor. He came to me last year. He was like, man, we really like your food, man. We, you know, let's do something and this and that. And well, they already knocked it down, the old Fridays. We're talking about getting that spot.
I saw that today. Yeah, so I was
We were talking about getting that spot. And he's like, hey, man, you know, we'll do $1.4 million loan, whatever, you know, we get a percentage, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like kind of nervous. I was like, man, that's, you know, pay back $1.4 million. That's a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, and I like convinced myself to do it. Like, man, I can do it. I know I can do it. Fuck, if I had a big spot, you know, and serve the food I'm doing and just bust my ass to make it work, like, I'll make it happen, you know? And, the guy comes up to me probably like 2 weeks later. His family came, his cousins from they're in Mexico. They came and talked to me, whatever. And you know, let's do this and we'll do that. You know, like making plans on the location, whatever. The rent was gonna be like 20 grand a month.
Shit.
Yeah, it's $20,000 a month for the rent. So that kind of like didn't discourage me, but I was like, nah, I can do it. Like, fuck it, I know I can do it. I can do it.
ready for the big.
And yeah, I was like, I can do it. Fuck it, you know, like. You know, I just convinced myself, whatever. So he comes back and he's all telling me, hey, man, he's like, I need to talk to you. I said, what's up, man? He's like, look, he's like, don't make that deal with my primo, bro. I said, why not? And he's like, because, man, he goes, he wants to take El Vago away from me. I said, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? He's like, because the last time they left, he tells me, hey, primo, look, man. He goes, give it 3 years. He goes, this is going to be ours. He goes, we'll take it away from him. He won't have a chance. He won't have a choice but to sign it over to us. We'll just we'll flood him with debt when he can't pay it back, and we'll just take it from him. And I was weird. I was kind of like, damn, fool, like, you know, like, that's your family, and you're telling me, like, nah. He's like, how he said, he was like, I'm a man of God. He goes, I won't be able to sleep knowing I took away from you and your family like that. It's robbery, you know, it's not right. And then the dude pops out, he's a child molester.
Oh, no.
Fuck.
I was like, man. Imagine if I went into business with him, like right now, I would have had the place, and then finding out this guy's a pedophile, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, I'm glad that it didn't go through.
Manny, hit me up. I'll tie you up. Do that burger challenge, Manny. Get that tat. Earn that Vago tat.
Oh yeah. Hey, well, Gabe was supposed to tattoo Jesse on the podcast today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he was
wow.
gonna put the Vago devil on him, like while we were talking, where he was gonna do it, man. But chingao, shit happens, man. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand, man. That life ain't, it ain't no joke, man.
Yeah, it ain't promising. Next day.
It never is, man. I'm glad that I was able to step away from that shit years ago. You know what I mean? I just focused on my family and my kids. 'Cause that whole brotherhood loyalty don't even exist anymore, man. It really don't. It changed a lot.
Yeah. It started changing. I seen it started changing while I was in there
Yeah,
in the 90s. The beginning of the 90s.
yeah.
I seen the change happening. I didn't get out till 2017.
Shit, man.
So, went in at 1985. So I seen the change, been through the change.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, like a lot has changed, man. It ain't what it is anymore. This new generation, they're bad, man. They're bad. They're real disrespectful. They're real gotcha. You know what I mean? They don't.
X.
Guys are knocking up girls, not taking care of their kids. I know it's always been like that, but it's like to me, it's at its worst right now. It's just sad, man.
The new day and age, man.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Shit. It sucked to get shot by a little kid with a Three Stooges haircut.
What an edger.
Thank cuz.
Put your hands up, cuz.
Back in the, what is it,
And a
50,
ball.
it was all about the
Buzzball.
jutsu.
Yeah.
The 60s, it was a pachucos. The 70s, it was the cholos.
80s was
The
second
80s.
generation. 90s was third generation cholos.
Yes, and then it started becoming the Egger stuff coming
Yeah.
out now.
Dude, how do we go from that to
Yes,
this to that?
that's what I'm
I don't
saying.
get it, man.
Hey, if you look at it, it's the music, bro. It's the music. The worse the music.
You call that
is,
shit music?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now look at it. Damn.
The Valley?
Belly, blame it on the belly.
I think so. I don't know.
We got Julius Caesars running around everywhere with these curly heads.
Three student haircut.
Man, I really want to try that.
Where the fuck did it come from, man?
I really want to try that
Taking over
LA
by fucking
Street Dogs, man. Have you heard of that
storm.
place? No. Man, I watched their shit. It looks fucking good, man.
Fucking edger.
LA Street Dogs?
Yeah, LA Street Dogs.
We're at it now.
It's here. No, it's here in
Oh,
town.
here.
Yeah. I think the Vato's from LA. I'm not sure. But I really want to try his food,
Come
man. It
get a
looks
shout out,
good.
man. Tell them where it's at. Where is it at?
Yeah, we need,
Yeah, man. Where y'all at, man? LA Street Dogs. Where y'all at?
we need to trade some food.
Yeah, we need to trade some food.
Right.
ASAP.
You overnight
We
some shit
live
like that?
life one time. People like us that have a past turn everything around to succeed in life. You got to run with it. I know exactly what you're saying. I did some state time and bedtime. Able to find my 17 years of my life. Yeah, man.
They're
Life,
from LA, yeah, and he's here in town.
yeah. So shit.
Man.
But yeah, man, that whole life, man, it's horrible, man. It's fucked up, bro. I'm just glad, man, from 2017 to now, I've been good. That's crazy, man. I got off parole in 2017 and then you got out 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't been in trouble since then. I finally can smoke again. I can, I'm not in trouble. I ain't going to court for anything. It feels good.
To be honest with you, man, I got out in 1992. What I mean by that was that's when my life changed when I was in prison.
Yeah.
I decided because I lived by the hand and by the knife during all that 80s all the way up to that point. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that kind of lifestyle was death.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that, but the time where I changed my life was when I decided, I go, you know what, man, it's that time. All my family members were dying on me and stuff like that during that time. And what can you do when you're locked up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I took it out on other people too, as well, and kept throwing me in the hole and all that stuff, right? But that wasn't the answer. The answer was, going to, I finally was able to investigate my spiritual being,
Yeah.
and that was my native being. So I'm Apache. I mean, so I'm part Chiricahua and Nippon Apache, right? So I started going to the lodge over there. And once I went into that lodge, that's when the creator touched my heart, my way of thinking and everything. So from that point on, all the way till I got out, I was blessed. Even to get that, and that's who gave me that chance, that second chance of life.
Yeah.
The creator for letting me out. Because I wasn't supposed to go. I already had life and had all kinds of other
Yeah, no, man, you're blessed, bro.
You
Man,
know
you're
what I mean?
lucky, man.
and I don't give thanks to the what do you call it, the governors at that time changing the law and stuff like that, because it was getting overcrowded during the times, in the 90s. All the prisons were overfilled. They were
Yeah.
putting people in, even in the holding cell, letting them live in there.
Yeah.
What,
You know what I mean?
What yard did you hit?
Well,
Yeah.
homeboy wants to know where
afterward,
OG in prison. Where were you in prison? Let him
I
know.
started, my first prison I started was at Old Folsom in California. And the first day was exciting, Get off the bus and they already knew we were going to R&R,
Uh-huh.
who I was, because back then the prisoners ran the prison,
Oh, yeah.
And they knew I was coming in already because I was already out in the street, clicked up,
Yeah.
coming in, and everybody knew me, So when I got there, get my property, walking through the yard, the yard walk, fish walking, walking through there, the whole yard stopped, man. You got everybody, back then it was all OGs back then at the time. I felt like I was a youngster,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, going in there like that, right? And a couple guys were approaching me. I was thinking, okay, they already told me, throw the bag and start swinging, you know what I mean, and get off first, And but they called my name. They were approaching me. What's up? And he goes, it's me. He puts the shades up. I go, oh, okay, what's up, man? He goes, hey, you're gonna go to the block right now, man. When the yard recall comes in, a couple commandos are gonna get at you, right? At that time, I didn't know I was holding 13 knives in my bag,
Yeah.
my property bag, in my clothes. I'm walking through the yard because at that time, they don't run you through the metal detector. They just run
Yeah.
you to the block and they run you up to your cells. So that was one way of getting the blades inside the block. So I waited there and I opened, I didn't notice, I got into my cell and I go, man, I got to clean this cell. You got to walk in sideways in the cell.
Yeah.
These are the bars ones, the old small cells, and your toilet's in the back and, that's your penthouse right there,
Yeah.
And I was on the third tier, So, during that time, they didn't have the cages, they were throwing guys off the tier, off the fifth tier and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Chinga.
After they stab them, they throw them off the tiers and stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's, that was the time I was, getting in right there at that time, and they just had a war going on, the black guerrillas and them and all that stuff were having,
Yeah.
war at that time. So everything was still locked down, sort of, they finally just opened the yard about 3 days before I got there, and, but they closed it down as soon as I got there, I walk up and I get into the cell. And I open my thing to start getting a towel to clean up the cell. I open up, I seen all these big old bone crushers this big with daggers in there. I go, oh shit, this one's beautiful. I'm already thinking, this is mine right here. I don't care. I was the mule. I brought these in. This is mine. You know what I mean? And so, I kept mine and the guys came in and they already told me, hey, did you get that? I go, yeah, I got it. He goes, well, you keep one and him and him get the rest, right? So I passed him on, and he told me, hey, when we go to chow, lay back. We're down here, down like about 5 or 6 cells down, right? So I'm all right. And I don't know these cats, right? You know what I mean? I just know, okay, they're part of our group,
Yeah.
right? So I put that bow crusher right here, my jacket on there, so I have a little masking tape, so it pops and it'll slide right in my hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just gotta know how to use
creative,
it.
man.
Yeah. So they come pick me up, right? So I'm waiting for them to come, and all I see a bunch of titos walking by, right? They're blacks, you know what I mean? Yeah.
The toes.
Yeah, we're walking by. I'm like, wow, man, these guys are some big dudes, man.
Yeah.
And these guys are weighing, 300, 400 out, next to size of telephone poles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm going, oh shit, what did I get myself into here?
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, So we go. They get in front of my cell. We get up and we start walking, and he's telling me, hey, let's, just follow us. So I'm right behind him, and I don't know these two cats either. You know what I mean? They're not my homeboys that I know, but they're with the group. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And I don't know they're holding as well. So I'm just like, keep in mind. So when we're going down down the stairways, it's kitty cat. It's going down like this, right? As soon as we hit the pavement right there on the side, there's a cop leaning against the bars, CO, and he's directing everybody to go down to the chow hall. And these two blacks come from the sides and he starts stabbing the shit out of this cop right there, right? So now it's going down, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, all you hear is shuffling, and now you hear the gunner, he doesn't even say get down. He's over there shooting the shotgun. And all you hear is bing, 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 metal, all the pellets hitting there.
It was your first day.
First day. It's time to go in the chow. You know what I mean? Then I go, okay, I know what's up now,
Yeah.
This is an everyday thing going on, So, but that right there opened my eyes to, okay, it's going to be a tough journey,
Yeah, it was on a Tuesday.
Yeah, man, okay, so we get down. They tell us to get down all the way down to the bottom, right? And they want, there's like 6 of us, and they tell everybody, oh, you guys go over there to the chow hall, right?
Yeah.
And we go on this side, and as soon as the cops are rushing up there and everything, the guy tells me, come on, let's get on that side. They're going to search us. And we all got knives on us, you know what I mean? So we made it to the other side where everybody's going to chow. As soon as we got against the wall, we're walking towards into the chow hall because all the excitement is going down with all these cops. He tells, hey, man, reason why you got a knife today is because we're going to kill this dude in the chow hall right now. All right. Point them out, point them out. So yeah, we're gonna as soon as we walk in, I'm gonna tell you this table right here, this guy right here, let's hit it, because they got a gunner right there, and they got guns, and now he's trigger happy now. One of his men just got stabbed up, you know what I mean? So now, they're on alert, so we're gonna get killed, you know what I mean? So something like that. So that was. They had to call off that hit right there. I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is what's up. So now we are in lockdown again. So we're eating sack lunches for all for months. Yeah. So that's the beginning. That's the first, prison. And so they started herding us out in groups, like 50 guys that, they're putting them in ad SIGs, and we're getting, because they're building this new maximum security Pelican Bay, they're underground and all this other stuff, and it's just going to be the worst of the worst in that prison.
Pelican Bay hadn't even been built yet.
No, they were, I opened the first yard there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it was like the first main line, and then that was a war going on at the second day, it happened, So that's another story, when we get to that. But I've been to the worst of the worst prisons that they had in the Mac, because I was always on level 4s, level 4s. And level 4s is when you're active and you just, everything goes, So you learn, you grow up real fast, man. And I'll tell you what, man. If you don't live on fear, you're a dead man.
Yeah.
I don't care how tough how big you get, how tough you get.
So mad.
That you're inside you, man. That keeps you alive.
Stay, Vato. When are you gonna sell the hot dogs with veins?
Asking for Eric features.
Who is that?
No, hombre.
Corpse Christi WH.
Yeah. Updates.
Alright.
When you're gonna sell the hot dog with veins, hombre.
Somebody tag him.
Got the silent combo.
Yeah.
Already there, you just
The Mickey Alvarez asked, "Were you in there with Danny Trejo?"
No, he was I was an old Folsom baby. He was a San Quentin baby.
Nah.
So he was in a different prison, one of the other
Yeah.
oldest prisons.
So-
he spent 15 years on his case.
So, how did it go when you went to court, what happened in court?
Which time?
The one where the judge was really, really mad at you.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, that one right there. That was another case, man. That was
Yeah.
we went to courtroom, man, one day, and they one of the guys got stabbed at the jail, and we used us all to go to for witness for this cat that he didn't do it. You know?
Yeah.
And we're all going for a bus ride, you know, to get out of the cell, you know. And this guy, they end up setting this guy inside one of the cells that just is completely all, you know, brick walled and a little window and a door like that. And this, they send this cat in there, right? He killed an old lady, man. He raped her and killed her at Knoxbury Farm in a parking lot, you know.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, so they put him inside that cell, and they brought us and got us off the bus and put us in there.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it was time for us to go to court, and they took us up the elevator and all that stuff. And by the time they knew it, I was the first one to go in front of the judge for that guy's case, right? You know,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting in front of the judge, and one of the sheriffs comes behind him, whispers in his ear, and he looked at me. He pulls his little cape over like that, the little black cape he had. And he had a big old gun right there, man. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck he showing me that for? You know what I mean? You know? And he goes, and he tells me just like this, hey, motherfucker, how dare you come in my jail, killing somebody in my jail? You know what I mean? My courthouse. What are you talking about, man? Get this motherfucker out of my, oh, fuck you, man. You know what I mean? So we started going back and forth, you know, and they're coming gaffing me up. And I go, you're a fucking little bitch behind wearing a dress and shit. You know? I mean, you know, at that time, you know, we were just fucking,
Yeah, me.
you know, we're talking shit to each other, you know, and they take me back in the back room where everybody else in the cells. I tell the guy, I guess they found out what happened, right? You know what I mean? And they found a body down there, you know, and like, you know, so. You know,
Good times. man,
yeah,
good
you know what I
times.
mean? So it's like shit like that happens, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you have no control of it, man.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go with the flow, you know. You just hopefully you never have to be in that situation again.
I was telling the man, you were locked up with Richard Ramirez in the
Oh,
about the
shit.
name Charles Manson.
Oh man,
The night stalker.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing time with Charles
Yeah,
Manson,
yeah.
but I when we go to court or somewhere in the bus, we have to pick up some guys there, and he'd be walking, you know, go do his thing, you know what I mean? And yeah, but Richard Ramirez, I tried to get him one time.
Yeah, I remember that.
That fool right there got away, missed him by that much, you know?
How did that happen?
Oh man, the cops set him up, you know? Because they let me be a tier tender in the county jail, right? He was in the first cell in the PC area, and next to him was a freeway killer, right? You know? And so both of them, every time I go in there to go sweep the tier out, you know, let me go in there. I only went in there like 3 times, you know what I mean? Because I was getting the feel of it, you know, see what's up. But they would always get against the wall. You know what I mean? They wouldn't, you know, get close to the, that's right. So I told these guys, hey, hook me up a good sized knife, man. I'm gonna hook it up to the broom.
Yeah.
When I go back there, you know, to go clean out day room, I'm gonna hook everything up and I'm gonna go back there. And so I put the broom right there in front of his cell right there, you know. So I'm leaning against it, you know, so he don't feel threatened, you know.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing in my hands, it's right there. I go, hey man, so who comes and sees you? I'm playing the part, you know, trying to get all this information from him, you know. And he's showing me pictures of, you know, these bras are coming to see him and shit like that. And the pictures he's drawing of Satan and all this other crazy stuff that, you know, and he was, you know, doing all this crazy stuff. So I told him, hey man, draw me a picture, man. You know what I mean? I'll pick it up in a couple of days, man. You know, I come here to do the, you know,
Yeah.
cleaning. And he goes, yeah. So he's getting comfortable and he's getting a little closer to the bars, you know.
Yeah.
And I see it, man. And then I seen the opportunity when he turned his back against me to go grab an envelope, you know. And I got the broom. When I threw it in there like that, right? The metal hit the bar, right? And made a metal sound clink on it, right? So he turned around just in time and he went, and past him like that, man, you know. And he just hollered real loud, I knew it, right? And then he started calling for the deputy, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
go, oh, fuck, man, I gotta get this shit back to over there and go flush this shit because they're gonna come and get me right
Yeah.
now, you know?
Was it a good sized bone crusher?
Yeah, good side like that, wrapped up with the broom. You know what I mean? You know? So it was a spear, you know what I mean? So I was trying to label this guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, that's like a trophy in prison, right?
Yeah, any pedophiles or any kind of, you know, rapists or any people killing elders or something like that, that's against the law. That's against the law.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so that's you know, so I had no other choice. I had to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was another time where I was getting a visit because we, you know, High Power PC had the same kind of area where we go and get these 4 booths, you know, and that's in the that's away from the you know, the population and stuff. So when it's time for us to go in there, everybody has to be cleared out of there, bring us in there, right? So they bring us from Shackles going all the way in there, you know. And I guess when the cops wanted to set them up, because they already knew I tried to get them, you know. So they let me in there.
Yeah.
They brought me in there, and he didn't get to see me walking in. So when I'm sitting next to him, you know, like this, and they shack you one arm down, and you grab the phone and use it, you know. So back then they had handcuffs where you can open them up for yourself, you know. So I'm in the middle doing that, right?
Yeah.
And ex-wife, she ended up coming to see me, pulling me out. And I told her, hey, this cat's right here. Oh, it's gonna be a fast visit. Who? You know, curiosity, you
Yeah.
know. She looked in there, and he sort of like looked like, who's that chick looking in here? You know what I mean? And then by the time he turned around and see who she was visiting, his eyes got big right there, right? So, you know, I was able just to crack him, just, you know, I couldn't get him, man, you know, and so I just started hitting him, bam, bam, bam. So they brought in the cops and tackled me down and got me out of there. But
Gee.
hey, every chance you get, man, you got to do it, man. You
Yeah.
know, it was funny,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, these are the kind of things that, you know, that you have to go through.
We always looking for smoke sponsors. Right. Shit.
Smoke sponsors.
Yeah.
Shit. Never turn them down.
Now, but that guy, he always has the best shit I've ever smoked here in Corpus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best shit.
Yeah.
Real good.
We will promote it.
Do you feel like the guards and stuff would like look away or like turn a blind eye or, you know, not focus on attacking, you know, offenders and shit more for like,
No, we owned them. At that time,
yeah,
they were working for us. Hey, want a brand new car? They weren't paying these guys that much money. Buy a brand new truck or whatever they wanted, man. You know, and they bring in weed, they bring in all those drugs that we needed. So they're crooked. Most of the SEALs were all crooked.
for sure.
You know? So some were working for different gangs, you know, prison gangs. So they're one of us.
What was the majority of race that was in there? Raza.
Yeah.
The second was the negros, no?
The Negros, not really.
No?
It depends on what years, you know what I mean? At the 90s, it started packing in with the Negros. But it was a bunch of whites and Mexicans at that time.
Yeah.
But we were separated in north and south. So we were having war during that time as well.
Yeah.
So over politics, you know what I mean? That stuff like that. So it just gets crazy.
What's the worst thing you seen while you were locked up?
When I was locked up,
Yeah, the worst.
spear going right through somebody like that, from the back all the way to the front.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty hardcore.
he died.
Yeah.
Question,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were trying to kill him for a while. They were, this was at Old Folsom. They were trying to get him for a while, right?
Yeah.
And he made it to the canteen out there on the yard. So he had his bags right there, and his back against the fence, one of these wired fences, right? And in the back of him is the yard, the track and all that. So he was able to see, guys coming, and he took his mind off of what's behind him.
Yeah.
So he'd see guys coming up there, mad dogging him and stuff like that. So he was already on his toes, and so the guys went on the track about 2 times, and then the third time they came. And I'm standing next to the cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening? Oh, this vato right here is going to get his right now. I go, okay. He goes, hey, when they do that, grab a bag. His canteen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just don't leave it there. Grab something. You know what I mean? All right, fuck it. So yeah, they came around, and they and I seen it just come out like this. It came out this far.
Yeah.
A good 5 inches out. So that was a big sword. I mean, it went through that fence and went through his body and went out this way. And when it went in there, he looked down at it. Then he tried to look up, and then he just closed his eyes. His arms just went like that, right? And before he didn't buckle yet, he was just still, I guess his nerves or something happened where he still standing up for a few minutes. By that time, people were coming by, taking a bag and taking off.
Yeah.
I grabbed mine and took off. You know what I mean? but then he buckled down.
Yeah.
And then by that time, the yard was down, and everybody's awake.
What was the saddest thing you seen in prison?
There's really no sad things, it's all ugly shit. You know what I mean? It's and especially in those levels, you see murder, you smell misery, death, every day. Someone's gonna get hit. Maybe not your people, but somebody else. There's something always going down.
You can feel the tension.
The tension is,
Feel it.
you feel it, man. You can feel like sometimes you got that, you feel something today, you can feel something. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
That's how you wake up every morning. Feeling to have, bro. I'm telling you.
I wonder how good no one never is gonna know this feeling other than you and people that've been in your situation. The day that you didn't have to feel that no more, because you did that for what, 32 years?
32 years.
32 years of living like that every day, in and out, the same shit every day, people dying every day, and into one day not feeling that no more. Did it take you a long time to like,
Just
to adjust?
Yeah, well, like I told you, right when I started going into the lodge, let all that feeling go.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I was reborn again, the spiritual way. I never felt that way before.
Yeah.
So it was a new change for me. So if I didn't get out, I still felt like I was free. Even if I'm on the main line, I'm thinking I'm free. Because all the time I was isolated in the cells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
2-man cell, 1-man cell. And no windows, shit like that. You know what I mean? You're in there 23 hours a day. You know what I mean? So you have to have a strong mind to process this. You can't just get in there and think, okay, I can handle this for a couple months and shit. No, this is years that you gotta stay back there like
you
that.
gotta get a routine.
Yeah, you have to get your mind into a routine where, hey, I need books coming in. I need to educate myself. I need to start doing things that I never did before. And by the time you know it, it's going by fast. But if you're plotting to kill somebody every day, you're plotting, okay, for instance, I want to get at you, right? I watch you for a month, going to chow hall, coming back, watching your salary leave, and that's how I did mine.
Yeah.
I go up there, and I have to, especially sometimes it's hard where these guys live on the top tier and I'm in the bottom tier, and I have to, they release the bottom tier first, and then you have to go out the door. But no, I want to go in the cell where it's just going to be me and him, and only one guy's walking out. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that where you you have to get your prey. You know, you study your prey, you get it.
Yeah.
Those places somebody's always
Because there's a trigger right behind your head, waiting for you. So you even have to count how many times it's going to take him to get his gun. You got it. By the time he sets his gun and puts it out the window, and by the time he presses, you hit him 10 times already. You're hitting all the jugular areas. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are the things that you have to learn. They teach you. You'd be surprised what they teach you. The human anatomy, they bring it to you to say, this is where you hit these, this is where you cut them, this is where you paralyze them. You know what I mean? So you're in there practicing, you know, how to kill somebody real quick. You know, so it's stuff like that, you know, it feels in your head, man. You just this is the only thing that's going to keep me alive, do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something I want to do. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm doing it. Yeah, I want to do it. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's not like I want to wake up, hey, I want to do this. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. You know, it's like, okay, I know what I'm capable of doing. I know it's going to give me the job. Let me do it on my time. Do it my way. I want to see how good I am to get away with it. You know what I mean? So that's how you become perfect and things like that. If you can get away with murder inside prisons, you're good.
Shit, what did they give back then? 6 years?
No, they just add that to your sentence.
Yeah.
Paperwork. They'll sit you. They'll give you 6 months in 6 months in the hole. Just write on a piece of paper like, okay. They put you back out there again to kill somebody else.
Yeah. Shit.
But people don't understand that. You know, that's what, you know, the youngsters are going to be looking at that stuff. And they go, well, you know what? This old man ain't going to do shit. I'm bigger than him. I'm faster than him. And all. Don't underestimate the old guys.
Shit. Hit you 10 times.
They've been there. They're the ones that made that a home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know the blind spots. They know who they got in their pockets. They know a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They're the
You
ones
know-
that they call convicts, not Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why, you know, there's a difference in prisons how things are, you know, done. I would never incriminate the people I ran with, never talk about them. It's not my business. I can only incriminate myself, talk about the experiences I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How it was rough for me, crazy it was for me, where I liked it to be those ways, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's one thing that now I see guys that come on podcasts and talking about, yeah, you know, this and this is how that, you know, no, you're going to get yourself killed playing like that with fire. You know what I mean? You know, plus you don't want, you know, it's you coming at you or FBI coming at you and trying to give you a label, put you, you know, that you're still active in those areas. That's not what you're about when you're coming out here for freedom, you know. And so there's a lot of stuff that I've learned coming out. You know, it was hard for me dealing with just being coming out and being around people. You know, because remember I was doing years in Pelican Bay Shoe, you know, doing, you know, myself, you know, 1 hour. So noises, loud noises, pops, or balloon popping or something like that. You know, first thing I did when they picked me up from prison, my kids picked me up, right? And they told me we're gonna go to dinner, right? You know, so I'm sitting there and they had a party going behind me, another table, right? And when they brought the knives and everything like that, you know, I'm looking at it like, oh shit, Shanks. I get a, you know what I mean? Right away, I get a toallita and I hub it, and the only one that knows there's a knife is me, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the mentality that I carried out with me, you know? Always knowing that where's the blades at, who's got what, or what's going on, you know? And the sounds, because you couldn't hear birds, you couldn't hear automobiles all these years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So coming out, hearing cars and birds and people laughing and screaming, and it's like, oh shit, anxiety kicks in, you know? But you have to harvest it. You have to know how to control that, you know? You, learn your symptoms of, like, if you're going to AA, learning of how you feel like,
Triggers.
yeah, the triggers that are going to, you know, right away. I start sweating right away. I see my hand moving up and down, my leg moving around. Those are signs my body's telling me uncomfortable stress is happening right now. And you know you can't handle that shit. You just go ahead and activate, you know? So that's the thing, is you control the activated part of it, you know? So I had to learn a lot of years doing that,
Yeah.
you know, because believe me, man, it's hard to, you know, keep that in the back of the, you know, in the files, you know.
Yeah.
It can happen any day, man. You know, you reactivate yourself and just, you know, I'm not a threat to no one, you know. I just, you know, as long as I know that, don't lay hands on me, please.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't want to activate. I don't want, there's something's bad's going to happen, and I'm not going to stop. You know, it's like that. It's that I was trained. You know what I mean? And that's all I know. I don't know. Tap out. Okay, yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? I see them fighters fighting. Hey, okay, tapping out. That's it. No, you don't stop until you don't feel a heartbeat. See, that was a sickness at one time when you pick up. You know, I'll tell you one thing about guys like myself. You know, we once you got a taste of blood, it's hard to get away. You know, you start getting sick, mentally sick, because first time I started using knives, you know, you going for the heart, and you can feel the heartbeat to the blade, and it's shocking you going through your body, and you're getting power, their last power that they had. You know what I mean? You know, you take their death away. You got their power of life in you. So that's when you start thinking crazy stuff like that. You know what I mean? You don't want that in your mind no more. You don't want that carrying that sickness anymore. You know, because it can happen with anyone for the first time. People wonder why they do that. Psychologists try to dig in their mind. You can't carve anything out of somebody's mind, you know?
Yeah.
It's their feelings, and they'll tell you how they felt during the time they did it. Why? You know? Some people want to make money, so I think I know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so but it's you know, it's I call it popcorn psychology.
Yeah.
Because I had to learn psychology in there as well. You know what I mean? You learn psychology, you learn health, human anatomy, and you learn you go to college. See, I made it to myself where, hey, when I go to prison, man, I'm not gonna waste this time they gave me. They gave me life. I'm gonna do things that it's easy. I graduated for the high scholars on the streets. I got them on diplomas and all kinds of shit, you know, and did a lot of shit on the street that I'm not proud of. You know what I mean? Today, I'm not proud of it. At the time I was doing it, I didn't give a shit.
You're from a big barrio, huh?
Yeah, one of the biggest barrios right there in Santana.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so knowing those kind of things, and plus I was running that. I mean, so I had a lot of responsibility. You know, over 150 guys under my belt. You know what I mean? That's a lot of guys that want to go kill other people and shit. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For real, yeah.
Yeah, you know. So hey, wait a minute. Let's calm down. Let's drink over this and let's figure out something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. You know. So things like that. You know, it was just growing up doing that kind of crap. You know what I mean? But then when you get into the prisons, you start graduating into that kind of lifestyle. You know. But it was easy for me because I was already doing it on the streets before I got in there, and everybody knew me already going in.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't like, hey, I ran into the car and I killed these people. Now I gotta go to prison. I don't know nobody in there. I don't know how to do prison time. It was an accident. I got high, got drunk. I did this. Yeah, and you kill little kids inside that car. Okay, yeah, we got a place for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it was a mistake. It was an accident. No, you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
no mistakes. You say it's accidental. Nothing's accidental.
Yeah.
You trip and fall, that's an accident. When you're out there with a machine that's going to kill somebody, you know what you're doing.
How old are your tattoos, man?
Oh, these guys. I got Old Folsom right there. I got all kinds of native stuff here on me. This is one of the pachucas back in the days, man. You know what I mean? These were back in the early 70s and 60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my ink's still pretty good.
Yeah. You got it done inside?
I got some on my back. I'm all collage in the back.
Yeah.
You know, and got some in the front too as well. You know, got a lot of every tattoo is a story, event in my life. You know, and I use our culture. You know, of things that they did. Some of the years in Nawad are on me of certain the years of certain deaths and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are personalized to me, knowing what they are, what I did. You look at them every day to say, okay, that's not what's going to happen today. You know what I mean? So now they got people making Mickey Mouses and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, they're not into that trip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're, you know, that's gonna save them in the, in the future for them. You know, because they're having fun with themselves. You know what I mean? It ain't like this is something that you have to leave a history behind. You know what I mean? Of your past. So
How did you end up in Corpus?
Corpus. Well, I have my wife now, right?
Uh-huh.
And she was born here in Corpus, and her family had to split to California over there, and that's where I met her in high school,
Yeah.
right? So we dated in high school and stuff like that, and she had to move back. You know? Oh, hey, give me my Pendleton and my headband back, man. You know, Eddie and I, wait, give me that stuff, man. You know, back then that's what
Yeah.
you were. You know, when you got hooked up, you know, you let the girl use your jacket and okay, give me that stuff, man. I ain't gonna let you have another guy wear my shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know.
Give me back my property.
Yeah. So that was that. You know, during that time. This was back in the 70s. So I got married. She got married to someone, you know. She got married a few times as well, right? So I had a beautiful daughter and a son, you know, from my first wife, and then she had her kids from her husbands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I got out, she found out that I got out. She texted me or whatever, and I didn't know how to run a phone.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to phones. The technology, I was blown. You know, so I was telling the guy, hey, how do you do this? You know, how can I screen her? How can I talk to her? So they were showing me how to do that. And so I finally got, hey, what's up, man? So she was single at the time, you know, and I was like, I was in one of those homes, right? When you come out, they help you out, get your Social Security or halfway house or something like that, right? You know, rehabilitation centers, that's what they call them, right? You know, so they give you all the help that they can give you, you know what I mean, to get you settled. So there was a program to go do a truck driving license and all that stuff. I went and got my license. I got my Social Security, and you know, and I started helping the guys that were barely getting in there, and now they're a few months, 6 months, and another 6 months came around. I'm still hanging out there, you know. So it's like it helped me to get adjusted to the outside already, you know. So I needed that. I needed people that understood how I felt near me at that time when I got out. Because they're going through the same thing. So hearing they're telling me their stories, how they felt, you know, going to a restaurant and hearing all this noise, and I go, yeah, man, it makes you, you know, stresses you out, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know what stress is at the time because we're not used to that. You know, most of our time in the joint, our eyes are olives. You ever heard that's, you know, saying the olive eyes? It's when your eyes are jet black. There's no life in it. You know what I mean? Death. So all my time I had black eyes. Now finally when I started changing and going through my way, I got brown eyes now. You know what I mean? So that just to tell you how it cleanses you, man, you know?
Yeah.
So I fell in love with my spiritual, the creator, you know, and he guided me through this whole process, man. And all the brothers, they were doing the same thing, man. They helped me. I learned my ways, man, my Apache ways and stuff like that, right? And that was a big change for me,
Yeah.
Again, because I never did that because I always thought that living on the street, because here's a story about my I'm gonna have it in the book as well as my parents, right? They were Apaches and stuff like that, right? He was born on a reservation and stuff, right? He went to Korea War and all that stuff. When he got back, they had me, and then my mom and him separated. They gave me away, right? I didn't know all this stuff was happening, I didn't even know. So growing up, I was with my aunt. She was actually my aunt, and I call her my mom. She's raised me, Mama Jessie. So during that time, I'm thinking she had Mexican blood in her, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah, this time because I'm growing up and I'm listening to all this Mexican music with her, and I'm out on the streets, and so I'm starting learning all this stuff, right? And I didn't even know, until as I got, older, I started finding out who my real dad was and what the story was behind that, And so from that point on, man, I've been with the Creator all this time, man. He's been opening doors for me, and he hasn't shut them yet, man. Because he knows I'm putting in work. In fact, we just opened up the deal in Muertos here. Yes, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday right here down on Star Street in Chaparral. There they had a stand, a band stand right there and everything. So we opened up the ceremony with the drum beats and some songs. And we open up, our people, you know what I mean? And then after that, the mariachis come in there and they start singing the music in, and everybody starts having fun,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I'm doing all these kind of events right now here in Corpus, with the Lipans, So it's been a blessing. It still is a blessing,
Yeah.
Doors are opening up.
That's good, man. That's
And
badass.
that's why, the book that as soon as I get it, that book that I'm writing is my past when I was growing up on the streets and in prison and stuff. As soon as I'm done with that book, I want to start something with my new life today. You know what I mean? And what I've been doing and all this stuff.
Tell the homies to wake up. They're too high. Check over there. Yeah.
I'm looking down.
Mexican, I see your eyes closed.
Okay, I'm looking at the phone trying to first thing.
Was it that good, bro?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm high as hell.
Yeah.
The
Badass story. Were you locked up during the shoe wars?
What?
The shoe wars, the infamous shoe wars over there, Corbin shoe wars.
Shoe Wars. I don't know what that is. Corcoran?
You were in Corcoran, though,
Yeah, I
right?
was in Corcoran, but the shoe.
They had like
Oh, the shoe wars where the ad save and all that. Okay, yeah, they had a lot of that stuff going in, man. Even the SEALs will be betting against each other. They'll put in one of your rivals inside the yard, and they know that you're going in there and they're fighting each other, and the guy that that they don't really like, they get shot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of chicken fights going on in that. I got hit like that myself, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went in there and they already set me up to go in there and stab this dude in there, right? So I was hitting them against the wall, and then I guess they were gonna hit me. They were gonna shoot me from behind the head, right? And I seen the guy's eyes open, like he seen the gun coming out. I went down, and they shot him. Boom. So he landed against the wall and slid down, and I get down. And I just slid down, threw the knife away, and they came in. But it's dirty, man. How they do you?
Damn.
Yeah.
you wouldn't have moved out of it.
Yeah. Well, they shot me right before I went down, but it flipped me in the air. It didn't hit my knee where it would have shattered my knee. It skinned my knee, but that still lifted my leg up. And it fell, boom. But yeah, it's once you hear the first pop, you're waiting for the second one to hit. You know what I mean? So that's an ugly feeling.
So, what are your plans for the future?
My future is man, I'm gonna help as many people I can. You know, as far as talking to you brothers, you know, letting you know that this ain't a game.
Yeah.
It's real life going now, and we only got one life to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a matter of what you're gonna do with your time that you have left. You know, if everybody stops and think about, say, you're what, 50,
Me? I'm 40.
40? Oh, my bad.
Okay,
Okay, 40, right?
About to be
I'm 43. I'll be 44 this month.
Okay, let's just
Yeah.
say 40, right? Round it up, 40, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the men in your life, when do they start dying off at? 70s, 60s?
On my family?
Yeah.
Shit, we're very blessed, man. My grandfather lived to be in Mexico, lived to be 105. My grandpa here lived to be 90.
Yes, but we're talking about good times when the food was good and the water was good. and
Yeah,
all this
that-
stuff, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
These people lived on original foods and
Yeah.
original water, you know? Now we're living off of everything's fake, you know,
Yeah.
and chemicals pounds, you know? So like today, the men are starting to die maybe by 70.
Yes.
You
Late
know what I mean?
60s,
Yeah,
70s,
late 60s, 70s, right? So you're 40 years old right now, and you got 20 more years to live.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's pretty much
Now
how I
you
take
sleep
it.
half of that away, so now you're knocking off more of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what are you leaving, you know, yourself with? Your legacy for your family. What are you doing? You only got 10 years left. You stop and think that way, so you can accomplish more right now.
Yeah.
Every day that you live, and every day you wake up, it's a blessing because God's giving you that second
Yeah.
chance.
That's why I work a lot, man. And I always get people tell me, man, you work too much. You need to calm down. You need to chill. Whatever. I say, hey, dude, I'm in my 40s, bro. I got maybe like you said 20 more years to go before I, you know what I mean? I don't know what's gonna happen.
And those 20 are just times of making something happen for yourself
Yeah.
and your family. You know what I mean? That's not going to the doctors, being laid up for a week, or going to jail for 6 months or 2 years.
Yeah.
That's not even counted in those 20 years.
Yeah.
Anything happens between those 20 years. You see what I'm saying? So it really shortens up.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
does. Big time.
You know, whatever sickness comes, you know,
Yeah.
and that's going to eat you up faster. You know, so that's what I'm saying. We have to stop and think. You know, our gente has to get up and smell the coffee, bro. You know what I mean? And watch what these people are doing to cause us to die. Pick your foods, eat right, you know, and I was gonna say go to Vago, but yeah, you know,
Yeah, it's not good, man. It's not good.
no, it's all good, bro. But
Yeah, we know what I
you got to burn it out, though.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But to these people that just pound it in and not do nothing about it, you know.
Dude, sometimes we get customers that same repeat every day, man. They come every day and get a big old meal, and I'm like, ching out. I feel like,
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe his time's coming up.
yeah,
You know what I mean? He wants to live large,
yeah,
eating Vago's food. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at it that way, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's up to the individual how he wants to live his rest of his life.
yeah. It is. It is.
You know what I mean?
That is true.
You got anything-
That good,
anything
bad,
new?
That's true.
Anything new coming out?
Anything new coming out, man? The enchilada stuff. Well,
Yeah.
the lumpias, whatever, man.
Okay, how you doing those lumpias? Do you actually fry them también?
Yeah.
Okay, so how you do it?
Well, we get a jalapeno and we gut it out and we stuff it with brisket, cream cheese, shredded cheese, and bacon, like chopped up bacon. But I think this time I'm.
Get the sauce.
Oh yeah, and the sauce. And well,
Secret Vago sauce.
this time around I'm gonna do them different because, you know, and my wife told me, she was all like, because you didn't measure these jalapenos, right? I was like, nah, I just grabbed them like vámonos, you know, I just grabbed a shitload of them, right? Some of them were like real little, and some of them were big. Some, you know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
lumpias look all some tiny, some
So
big.
some women are gonna be happy and some are gonna
Yeah.
be mad.
Yeah. So this time around, I'm gonna do things different. I'm gonna stuff them different, and I'm gonna put more bigger chunk of brisket to wrap it up, whatever, to make them more full. You know, the last time was the first time I did them on my own. Man, it's
So the brisket you could slice in thin slices on that?
no, I'm probably gonna do
Wrap it?
chop, but do a good chunk of chop
okay.
in there. And instead of doing a jalapeno, I'm probably gonna put like a sliver of jalapeno in there, and then put whatever cream cheese and all the other shit in there, and then wrap it up.
And you're making like the casing and everything too, like
Well, no, I buy it for it. I just, nah, hombre, I ain't that badass, bro.
Oh, shit.
I ain't
Nah.
Chino enough, way.
Nah,
But I just go and get the lumpia wrap and shit.
for real. You growing the rice?
The rolling
Rice-
paper.
rice
So,
paper, yeah.
I roll it myself, bro.
So we made 100 of them this last week, and they flew fast.
Did they?
Yeah, they flew fast.
So what's the word on your enchiladas?
Everybody loves them, man. They've been selling like crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't tried them yet. So how,
Yeah.
what's in them?
it's hamburger meat, chopped brisket, a shitload of cheese.
You know I can't.
Damn.
You gotta try at least one time. man.
No.
At least one
One time.
time.
That's all it takes me, man.
That's all it takes. You're
Yeah,
lactose
I'll
intolerant?
throw up, man. No, I'm allergic to cheese.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's not the cheese itself; it's a chemical they kill the bacteria with.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they have like three different chemicals inside cheese to kill the bacteria, the rotten cheese.
I'll just
right?
make you with meat and gravy then. Just brisket and gravy. Yeah. Yeah.
Before you pour the cheese.
Yeah,
No cheese. You don't like no cheese at all. You can't do no cheese. Oh, that's why you always ask
yeah,
your burgers with no
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
cheese.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So your enchiladas, what's up with that?
They're going, man. We made a burrito out of it. Put 'em on top of fries, on top of a burger.
Hey, the
later.
burger's bomb. I had the burger.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, you took like what, about 10 enchiladas home?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
get whatever I can take. Shit.
Yeah.
You need to call me more when you got shit. Some of the beans out.
Oh, the beans, the
Show
beans.
up around the time you show up.
Right.
Yeah.
How you gotta do it.
All right, man. I was sure we already passed time, man.
Are we?
Yeah, I gotta go to the taco truck, man. It's
Oh,
like-
yeah.
I only cheat once a week, man. Eating this late, I can't eat past 6 anymore.
I want to do that kind of diet myself.
Yeah.
I have to. I got to get back into training.
Yeah, I gotta start losing weight, man. I'm getting too fucking fat, man. And then the sad thing is, not even off of my food because I don't even eat it. You know what I mean? I just.
Hey, so what's up with your
Yeah, you didn't even get to talk
your
about
day,
the
and
truck. Yeah,
your
truck.
your wife's day?
Oh yeah. We're gonna have a birthday party for me and my wife at the Galvan. November 15. I already invited y'all.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully y'all get to go, and Mario Salazar is gonna come down. He's gonna do a set.
If we gotta work.
Huh?
If we gotta work.
We always gotta
We
work,
gotta
fool.
dude.
Shit.
Vago boy.
He's asking,
Yeah,
asking on
Vago
here.
boy.
for-
Well, no, that we're gonna be closed that weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday we still gotta go to the restaurant and cook for the
For the-
event. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Good luck, guys.
Hey, good luck. You're the first one in there.
Yeah.
I'm back. I can feel my back going out for that day.
I had thought
Yeah, I'm gonna be
it's
sick
went away
that day.
right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the weed.
probably is, man. What do you call that second?
Secondhand,
Yeah.
secondhand high. Yeah.
Sheesh. You know, looking at you guys, haven't been putting me to sleep too, man. Just like,
Oh.
all right.
Yeah, man. Hopefully in the future I can get you and Jesse together, man.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
do
That's what I
something,
was
man.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Yeah, I like me and him. I like for both of us to pick each other's brain and
Yeah.
see what we can do to help the youth for today,
Yeah.
man. Because our youth are the ones for they're our elders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we don't need them in prison.
Yeah, no. man.
We don't need them picking up cases. We need them to start becoming businessmen. You know what I mean? Running things. So the only way that can happen is me start doing that to show them that if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I do my best. Every day is a challenge,
Yeah.
and that's what we all need to do, But hey, it's been fun, man. But
Yeah,
hopefully
man.
next time we'll get that
Yep.
straight talk.
Yeah, for real. All right, man. Thank y'all for watching, man. We'll see y'all later, man. And if y'all want some food, go to 5501 Castores, man. The food trailer's up and running right now. I got Gabriel Gates running it, and he's been doing pretty good, man. It's been going real good.
Hell yeah.
So if y'all hungry, y'all go over there.
Right.
I'm your host, El Vago, owner, operator of El Vago Burger Barbecue, located at 4701 Banana Drive, Motown, Texas, Molina neighborhood.
Welcome to the Volo Podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo Podcast, no cap, true stories, what you know about that? Welcome to the Volo Podcast, home of the black sheep and the outcast. Welcome to the Volo Podcast, no cap. True stories, what you know about that?